I'm going to say it one more time because I know everyone's spamming because they want to hear it again. That's Andrew. 10 bands, yay, baby! He wrote me a banger, I'm not going to lie. He said, Michael, congrats on all you do. You're building the future. Andrew Yang with the signature. Smiley Capital with the 50 gifted. Shout out to Smiley. Oh, wait, that must mean that Crude is candling right now. Let's give it a look. Hyperliquid. We'll go WTI. And we'll look at the 5 minute and big. Yes, it is. Shout out to Smiley Capital, baby. We have a deal in the back. A backhand deal, which is 50 bips of all P&L comes straight to Twitch subs. Welcome back to the stream, man. Hey, shout out to Andrew Yang. Shout out to presidential candidate and friend of the stream, personal friend of mine, Andrew Yang, for coming on the stream, for giving me the book. Hey, Yang, where's my $1,000? I actually, I woke up this morning fucking miserable, by the way. I woke up this morning miserable. And I read, like, I said, fuck it, I'm going to read a book. And so I read the first, I don't know, 3-4 chapters. First 30 pages. Actually kind of a heater, I'm not going to lie. Book is actually sick. So that is what that is. Guys, do I even have to say it anymore? Do you feel like I have to say it anymore? Did you re-enter the oil trade? I binked one last night. I'll talk about it. Do I even have to say it anymore? That today's an important stream. Are you sick of me saying that? Do I even have to say it anymore? I should write this down. My oil trade and new strategy. I tried out this new strategy and it was kind of electric. I'll explain it later, but I basically, oh my God, I'll explain it. It was kind of lit. But I'm watching a Trump speech, and after the first like 3 minutes, I'm like, all right, he's not announcing ground troops, but he's definitely not announcing a ceasefire. The thing is going to pop. And so I kept taking really high size, high leverage longs with the stop like 30 cents below. And I got stopped out of 2 of them for minus like 3-4%. And then I hit a binker when he finally said some bullshit. It was crazy. And I actually didn't short XPL. No, I didn't short XPL. It's kind of like a retarded strategy, but it worked. It kind of worked, which was pretty cool. But all right, we have a lot to talk about today. Let me just retweet that on live. We have a lot to talk about today. I have to tell you a story about how I lost one of my top roster spots to clavicular, bro. Honestly, I did. I lost one of my top roster spots to clavicular, which is just so brutal. I'll tell you the story, but TBPN got acquired for like, I don't know, $500 million, something stupid. A single founder vibe coded a $1 billion company. Trump did one of the scariest speeches I've ever heard him speak, and he's done some scary speeches before. Ton of oil commentary. The market somehow fucking closed green. It makes no sense. Warren Buffett interviewer finally gonna talk about. The Drift Hack has some takeaways. Smack launched an article I actually enjoyed, which we'll talk about. We have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna tell you the story really quick. We'll do roll call. We'll get into the stream. First of all, girl number 1 give me advice on the market, never responded. I was gonna hit her back up with some follow-ups on what happened in the Trump speech, but I just decided, like, you know what? Whatever. If she asks, I'll give her info. If she didn't ask, she's not getting info. But there's this other girl, completely separate. I've never talked about her before. And she is like, she's kind of like a cultural baddie. Like, she sends me like funny IG reels, and like she'll send me like edgy IG reels. Like she'll send me like Epstein reels and shit. Like she's like kind of like she pushes the boundary a little bit. Also, where's Viblet? No. 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 Oh, no. Oh, man. Really? No. Seriously? Oh, man. No. No. Stop. Actually, is he actually not here? He's never not been here, like ever. Man, that fucking hurts. Anyways, wow. That just blew the fuck out of me. That's insane. I can't believe that. Does anyone have his phone number? Is he okay? Does anyone have his phone number or no? He was 40x long Farcoin into the drift hack? No. Wow. That is like top 10 anime betrayals of all time. That's insane. Anyways, fuck. I gotta tell this story quick. That just like ruined my day. Is he okay? Anyways, real quick. I talked to this girl, right? And she's, damn, that fucking hurts. I don't know what else to say. I'm like really genuinely distraught about that. And so she's like my like cultural, like IG real baddie, right? And so I tap her in on culture. Like I tell her what's going on. And so 3-4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago, I put this thing in my IG story talking about jester gooning. And she's like, what the fuck is jester gooning? And so I told her, I'm like, there's this guy. This was like pre-framework. I'm like, there's this guy. His name's Clavicular. Da 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 da. I put her on a clav. Okay. And so she goes and does her thing. I haven't talked to her in forever. And she hits me up this morning and goes, yo. I said, oh shit. Like, you've seen the streams? What's good? And she says, remember how 3 months ago or whatever you put me on to Clavicular? Yeah. Well, thank you. And second of all, look at this. And she sends me a stream screenshot of her talking to Clav in Miami, bro. Fuck. 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 And she goes, no, like he asked me to come up. Like, I didn't even know who he was. I honestly, I probably would have ignored him if you hadn't told me who he was. And so I would show the clip, but it's going to dox her, and I can't do that because then I can't tell stream stories. So anyways, that's how my morning started, and my favorite chatters in here. But anyways, roll call, baby. Roll call for the real MFers in the chat. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Kevin, what's good? Pipe Bomb, what's good? Alex, what's good? G-Man, what's good? Jackson, Ray, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Hidden character. Y'all still fuck with me. Pretty much intern, what's good? Garland, what's good? DJ, what's good? What's good? Booty Watcher, what's good? Frank D-Gods, what's good? Captain, what's good? Coffee Attack, what's good? Baby, what's good? Joey, what's good? Man, I'm low-key hurting. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that really, I feel like I just, dude, I'm hurting. He better have a good explanation because I'm genuinely hurting. Smiley, everybody, what's good? What's good? What's good? DM, hey, everyone DM Viblet if you can. I don't know what happened, but it's hard for me to go through with the day. But I did have some fucking good news that happened today. Some wild news that happened today in the media space. We'll skip my intro topics to get straight to this, which is TBPN acquired today by OpenAI. Okay. Everybody here knows what the TBN is, I'm assuming. By the way, I will come out on a limb and I'll say I'm one of the biggest TBPN glazers. Okay. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you like to chat, Twitch.tv/, like, I'm a huge TBPN glazer because I run a media company. Okay. And people like to hate on TBPN and people like to hate on the views or whatever that TBPN does compared to like a Kai Cenat or whoever. One, it's a completely fundamentally just different business. What they're playing for, who they're targeting, who they're going after. And two, the operation that they run, and the only reason I know this is because I run a fucking operation, is unreal what they are able to pull off every single day. Seriously. Like, we run an operation in the background. I have the most incredible team at Counterparty working with us. Like, the most incredible team. Everyone carries me. I just show up and stream. Everybody else does all the fucking work. But for TBPN to pull off the show that they pull off every single day is actually filthy, bro. And so Sama quote tweeted and said, TBPN, by the way, OpenAI, like, they got acquired by fucking OpenAI, which is, I don't know, I don't even think you can go bigger than that. That's as big as you can get, right? It could have been Anthropic, I guess. It could have been X, but it's as big as you can get. And Sam Kotu says, TBPN is my favorite tech show. We want them to keep that going and for them to do what they do so well. I don't expect them to go any easier on us. And I'm sure I'll do my part to help enable that with occasional stupid decisions. But this just got tweeted like as I was going live, which is just, bro. I mean, come on. Look at this. Zero Hedge quote tweets and says, OpenAI acquired TBPN for low hundreds of millions, brother. Hundreds of millions. This has got to be one of the biggest media streamer deals that's ever happened. I'm not sure that there's a deal this big that's been done. That means minimum 200 plus. 200 plus. Probably somewhere between 200 to 500. This has got, I mean, it has got to be one of, if not the biggest media deal that has happened for a streamer. Like, you know, people have thrown out Aiden Ross's numbers, Kai's numbers, Speed's numbers, but to get company acquired, yes, let's go, man, let's go, baby, yes, thank God, man. What the fuck was that, dude? I deadass couldn't fucking, I'm about to start crying. I deadass couldn't focus, man. That fucking, dude, I couldn't fucking focus. Thank God, man. Fuck. I almost rugged the stream. What the fuck was that, dude? Don't ever do that shit again, please. That blew me. God, now we can stream. Thank you. I hope, dude, I was having people go check on you, man. Thank God. All right, anyways. Hundreds of millions, the acquisition for OpenAI. Dude, I feel like I can... Oh, I feel like I can focus, dude. I feel like I can focus. Thank God. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Anyways, dude, let's go. Hundreds of millions on this. And it's an absolute behemoth. This has been my thesis forever, is that these super niche focused, it's like, yeah, we don't book high viewers, but the quality of people that we curate to come into the pit that we bring into the stream is just like a different level. The 150 people in here are tapped into the market, are tapped into the Iran conflict, are shorting Farquaad in the drift hack. It's just a different level of curation, right? It's a very rare level of curation, artistic curation. And so, I don't know, man. It feels like the only way to make 100 mil, feels like the only way to make 9 figs in 2026 is to revolutionize technology or get really clouded on Twitter. And so, I don't know, if you ever needed a reason to post your trades or to post what you're doing or to post your thesis on the Middle East or whatever it is, I think it's probably going to be on the back end of TBPN OpenAI acquisition. So this happened. It's huge news. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And you guys are early. I'll just say this. I remember when I posted this thread a year ago, trying to pump my own backs. And I'm basically just saying, like, crypto finance streamers are going to take over the world or whatever. And under here, I was posting, I'm posting this stuff. Like, Aiden Ross has to deal with Kick, reportedly worth 100 million. Kai, 60. Speed, they said 600. I think that's high. And everybody was in the prize, like, what are you talking about that they're making this much money? And I'm like, oh, you guys, this is when I realized everybody in crypto was 35 plus, and if there was going to be a cultural crypto revolution, it was going to have to be by the youngins. Because I just realized, oh, you guys actually have no idea how any of this TikTok media stuff works. No idea. how any of it works. So I don't know. Big realization on crypto, big realization on media, and major shout out to TBPN because they just fucking banked it. I mean, I have like a bunch of intro stuff I want to do. Maybe we could just skip it and get to the market because I'll play you this real quick. Set the tone and we'll get to the market because it was a fucking bizarre close. By the way, I'll throw this out there right now. How would you guys feel about starting, yes or no, starting stream 1 hour early? Moving next week. I might try it. Because it would give us a lot of time to rant and talk about bullshit. Oh, everybody likes yes. Whoa. Really? Oh. I was busy on the phone with Sam Walt when my dog TGS to be heard. Okay, the reason I want to do it is because I feel like we could... No, don't stream anymore, please. I feel like we could spend more time on intro, like fun stuff before market close. And so we could like pivot to market close after we've gotten a bunch of stuff in rather than feeling like, okay, I need to shut the fuck up so I can get to close right now, which is what I'm going to do. So I don't know. Let's set the tone real quick and let's just start ripping. Okay. Russian forces deployed a tank with woolly mammoth cosplay to scare away drones. This is a Russian tank. This is how I'm moving. This is how we're setting the tone, baby. Look at this shit. Dude, it's a tank. It's a Russian tank. War propaganda is unreal. 7 a.m. in Australia. I'm sorry, brother. All right, let's just get right into... Yeah, let's just get right into fucking what happened yesterday and we'll work backwards. It's how I think we should do this. All right, it is 4:06. Market closed 6 minutes ago. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm at a little bit of a loss today. I have said this a bunch of times. I'm still on Cali time on my computer. Dude, if I thought of myself as a sophisticated investor and I was trading indexes and trying to trade SPX and especially trying to short it, I would have just quit. I understand why all these accounts have gone Twitter or have gone private. Why Chumba, all these guys go private and they just stop posting their trades because it is I don't know. It's a bizarre market that we are in right now. It is genuinely bizarre. And we are going to just continue on quick God trades and out because it's brutal right now. Who's in what? Who's in, before I go over market close, who is in what? What is your highest conviction size position right now? I'm up XPL. Dude, please, man. Please. Bitcoin just, please, man. Gold. I like gold right now. I'm not going to lie. FSFLOY. Yeah, counterparty equity. Yeah, that shit is fucking up today. I got a markup today. I got a big boy markup today. Zach Long. Interesting. Bitcoin and big size hype. Still short Canton. How is that? I hope you give me your mom's lore. I hope you make money on that, Jackson Ray. I'm rooting for you, bro. Oh, you're up on this. You are up on this a lot, huh? You're up a good amount on this, I think. I don't know how much, but percentage wise, that's fucking awesome. Congrats, bro. It's going great. Much love. Good for you, bro. I'm hyped to see you hit a dub. Hey, shout out Jackson Ray. That's an OG chatter. My dog hit a dub. Let's go. Bitcoin short full port. You're just gonna drive yourself nuts. Brent hyperliquid. I think the crowd is short oil and stocks, causing the pain for them to go up. Yeah, I don't even know what you're supposed to do with oil anymore. I'm like, yeah, it's you start trading, you go from trading against, just to talk about my skill level in the order books, is you basically have transitioned from PvPing. I mean, within the last 3 months, I have basically evolved from PvPing Jack Duvall and Orangey on sub 10 mil coins to PvPing Scott Bessent, Donald Trump, and every major country, government in the world on the most liquid commodity that is essential to life in 2026. And it comes at you quick. It's very similar to you're playing poker 1-2, $100 buy-in, and then you get invited on the Hustler stream. And you still are not even really sure how the game works, and you're playing against Keating. That's what happened to me. I mean, bro, in 3 months, I was going from PvPing Orangey to like PvPing Bessent. And I will just say, like, actually, based on P&L, PvPing Orangey is harder, potentially. But here's where we're at today on close. SPY closes up 0.13%, which is just unfathomable. Bro's the real Jinwoo Sung. I don't even know who that is. Jinwoo Sung. Oh, solo leveling. Sorry, man. It's out of my wheelhouse a little bit. Sorry. Hella millennial coded. I mean, this is crazy. I'm sorry. Look at this. This is daily PA today. This is PA today. Open straight line down, straight gap up, chop, and then we want to go higher. Just crazy. Honestly, crazy. This is like a very weird dick and balls pattern, but not my favorite one. I mean, just crazy. Russell up 1%. Q's basically flat. Look at this. Gap, and then just shoot it back up. On the news that I don't even know what the news was, that Iran is officially like accepting tolls for some of these GCC countries to tank through the Middle East. Like news that's been in the news cycle for days. I don't know, weeks. We talked about this weeks ago. So Q's here, IGV up 1%. They all look the same. Look at this. Gap down and then somehow get ripped up on nothing. No, the news was they're doing it with Oman. Got it. Which I feel like has been in, it makes it more official. Okay. I feel like that's been in the news cycle though, and whatever. The Dow is down 0.1%, and that brings me to this, which I completely forgot to bring up, which is that the president has informed Pam Bondi that her time as AG is nearing an end. And this has now officially been announced and confirmed that Pam Bondi is no longer the attorney general. She's officially out. And Pam Bondi being out 1 week after the press conference where she referenced the Dow over 50,000 is going to go down as one of the most iconic press conferences that's ever happened in American history. Okay? Because this moment, and mind you, it had 3 days officially closed above 50K. This press conference officially was 51 days ago. 51 days ago. 51 days ago, Pam Bondi is on stage at a Jeffrey Epstein hearing. Did I say a week? I didn't mean a week. 51 days ago, she's on stage at a hearing for the Epstein files. She's asked a question about Jeffrey Epstein. She replies and says, "How dare you ask me this question? You should be apologizing to President Trump. They said he could never do it, and he figured out how to get the Dow above 50K. Since that moment, 51 days ago, the Dow is down 8%, and it is trading at officially 46,500. 8% below 50K, and this short probably goes down as one of the most iconic trades ever. Genuinely. I mean, honestly, as someone who prides himself recently on trading attention and trading narratives and trading memetics, the fact that I didn't take that trade is a goddamn embarrassment. Really, it is to what I stand for. It's a goddamn embarrassment for what I stand for. It is what it is. We live and we learn, but it's I mean, it's gonna go down as one of the most iconic clips in like the history of the United States of America, I would argue. I don't know how high up it is on that list. Maybe we could do a tier list, but I don't know. As soon as this poly market got released, by the way, it was like instantly, look at this. This thing was at it's March 31st actually here, April. Look how this thing candled. Just candled, binked it. Poly market right away. I looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, she's out. I think we were on stand up this morning. It was like 80%. Oh yeah, she's done. 5 minutes later, official announcement. So that is the Dow. Pam Bondi out. Officially out. Moving on, market close. Crypto, not bad, not great. Expectations are low. Hyperliquid's down 3%. It's trading at $35. Silver is on this list as well, down 3. Sol down 3. 78. Sol is horrid right now. I mean, I think this is probably of all the coins, unfortunately, is probably the worst positioned, especially after what just happened. I mean, this just out of everything looks I want lower. Out of all the crypto that looks like shit, this one looks the most shit. They all look like shit, but this one smells the worst, I think. Totally tweeted himself 75. Is that true? There's no way he tweeted 75. Stop. He did not tweet that. Oh, he's spamming it. Wow. He's spamming 75. That's crazy. By the way, this isn't a shot, but on the whole megachurch thing, you probably could have started shorting Solana when everybody from Solana Foundation started talking about Zcash, and you would have made out like a bandit. Just saying. You could have started shorting Sol when everybody started talking about Zcash, and you could have done really well on that. But this probably looks the worst post-drift hacked, which, by the way, there's been some post-mortem news that has come out regarding the drift hack that we can cover in a little bit later. I don't think it's that relevant to the beginning section of stream. But when look, I love Solana. Honestly, I love Solana. But when the foundation only wants to talk about another token, that's when things get a little dicey. DXY is up 0.5%. Zcash down 3.5. I'm out of this, as you know. Monero down 3, ETH down 3.5, and just God. Gold is down 2. I kind of like. I've never traded gold right now. I've never traded gold before, but increasingly feels like if you're gonna go long something, it's becoming an interesting spot. Like it's something I'm thinking about now for the first time. Bitcoin down 2 and looks. I mean, Bitcoin looks bad. Bitcoin looks really bad. Tau is down 2 and looks pretty bad. And then stretch is over 100, which means we have to check this. 522 Bitcoin today. Nice. We'll get to XPL. We do alts last. They're the least important. Energy up across the board and some crazy candles on CL, crude, WTI, and Brent. Defense up across the board. Software ETF is up too, so Palantir looks pretty good actually. The bounce here. All of our fertilizer chemicals look good. Shout out to Tulip King. Nvidia up 1%. What do we care about on this list? Apple flat. Netflix up. Spicy Meatball, you in it or no? Looks good, bro. You look-y binked this from the chat. You binked this from our Twitch chat. Spamming this. Kept saying Netflix. So that one's interesting. I saw someone have a thesis today that Netflix, this was a Mint Investing, had a thesis. Let's go to Houdini. Had a thesis that Netflix is going to go up because of how much money they're going to make from the war content on subscriptions. I've never heard that be articulated before, but it's basically up only since war. Surely that is not a thing, right? I mean, this is market close right before the war. Netflix goes to war, we go to war, and Netflix gaps up. There's no way that this is an actual thesis. I think it's just fooled by randomness, right? There's no way. I was listening to this and I'm like, wait, what? It's going. People are buying Netflix because of how much money they're gonna make producing a war documentary. There's no. I mean, there's no way. But maybe interesting thesis. Yeah, bone smash. Microsoft up 1%. Oracle looks terrible. Tesla down 5.5. Which we're gonna do a SpaceX segment today because I'm fucking. Being a crypto guy, you learn a lot about the world, and there's actually a jarringly large amount of correlations that we learned the hard way in crypto that we can take over to TradFi. And we're going to talk about this later, so I don't want to front run it, but the Tesla dev is launching a second coin. And you know how that plays out more often than not. So that is what that is. And then let's see what else we have on this list that I care about. Individual names, I mostly just care about Hims down 3.5. Awful. Rivian's up. Shout out Apewood. Intel up 5. Roblox up 5. Looks awful, but is up. And that is mostly what we care about here. And then crypto tokens. Whoa. Wow. What? Really? Damn, this chart looks pretty sick. Actually. Wow. The market gods heard me yesterday. Everybody, I convinced everybody to short it to make money, and realistically, the only way to make money was to long it. J-Dogs, you long this? The daily looks good, the weekly looks terrible, and the monthly's... I don't know if this is good or bad, what this looks like. I honestly don't know what to make of this one. If this is good or bad. That's unreal. Wow. Why is it pumping? Damn, there's a clip of me saying short XPO. Wow. That is something. What else? Lighter 2 is up 12% since Jez called the bottom. We're going to do a little lighter segment today. But Jez called bottom where? Right here. Just called bottom. I have this really interesting article. I think it's basically about Lighter. Shout out to Smack if anyone's a fan of his. And it's, it's one of my least favorite theses that I hear people charade around, which is that you should buy asset A because asset A's price correlation to asset B is too far off. Like the beta is too cheap compared to the alpha. And this is another trenching lesson that you never buy the beta, right? You just long your longs on the alpha. And it's played out pretty bad for like, I actually went to this Cabal dinner not that long ago, a couple months ago, and everybody there was bullish on Lighter, which is a good product. I've used it before. It's a very good product. And I'm asking them, why are you bullish on Lighter? And the answer every person had on why they're bullish on Lighter is that it's too cheap compared to Hyperliquid. And I just remember thinking to myself, that doesn't feel like a very good thesis, respectfully. I'm not sure that I like that thesis. Like, it's a thesis for sure, but I don't think it's a good one. I don't think it's a good one. It's a thesis. Definitely it's a thesis, but I do not think it is a good one. I don't think it's a good one. Let's see what else real quick. We'll finish through, then we'll get to War. Monad, this chart looks fucking sick too, by the way. Honestly, this is one of the best looking charts in crypto, really. Consolidation for how long? Date range from the bottom here to here is like, 3-4 months. This chart looks pretty sick. I should add VVV to this, actually. VVV. Be that. This chart looks sick. I'm going to get Eric Voorhees on stream, by the way. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll get Eric on stream, but he's going to come on at some point. And, yeah, everything else looks terrible. Uni terrible. Athena is so bad, I don't even understand. I mean, there has to be some fuckery happen here, right? What happened here to allow this? Genuinely, what happened here to allow this to happen? It makes no sense how this could be this terrible. I mean, this one breaks what you ever thought possible. This one too breaks. This breaks things you didn't even believe could happen. But yeah, that's basically where we're at with crypto. Basically, everything looks like shit, but there's a couple things that don't quite look like shit. And you might as well cover them. So that is what that is. And it is time, I believe, to talk about the Trump speech. I want to first apologize for not streaming it. I sent you off. I pawned everybody off to a different stream. And to that, I owe you an apology. I should have been live. 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 I'm sorry. I pawned everybody off. And it's very unfortunate that it happened. Now, yesterday, and I know we have watched what feels like infinite Trump speeches. And they're almost never significant because they almost never say anything new. And this one is paradoxical because he didn't say anything new and it felt significant. First and foremost, before I give my take, what is everybody's take? Did you watch it and what did you think? Did you watch it and what did you think? If you watched it, what did you think? Hey, listening to Trump, it's not the most enjoyable, but this is one of those ones that you have to listen to. Literally a waste of time. Mid. So, number one on this Trump speech is, I didn't realize this. They cut off every cable. Hey, thanks for the raid, bro. They cut off every cable broadcast to play this speech, which is kind of dystopian. Is anyone watching TV and got cut off? That is kind of dystopian in itself. Honestly, that is kind of dystopian. Like, that is, if I was watching, imagine you're watching, everyone's watching Survivor. Wow. And it cuts off and it's Trump speaking. That is like a crazy, what the fuck? I don't really watch TV, like cable TV. I haven't looked at the TV in forever. I watch like Netflix and shit. I'm trying to watch Game of Thrones. I'll watch Netflix. I'll watch TV. But I'm not really watching cable unless it's sports. But even that I'm watching on YouTube TV or Amazon Prime or whatever else. And so you have to listen to it. Oh, it's playing in the background. Sorry. You have to listen to it. And I want to play this one clip from it that I think is relatively significant. And then I'm going to give you my takes. I'm going to give you my takes on it. And we'll go through some commentary on why the market is weird. And then we're going to move on to some fun stuff. I think lighter with zero fee approach is infinitely more appealing than Hyperliquid. I don't know. I just got locked into Hyperliquid. My money's on there, and I just sort of locked in. But, all right, let's watch real quick. Wow, XPL is pumping right now, like, as we're talking. Wow, it's candling, like, right this second. What happened? Look at this thing. Damn, I'm ready. I'm about to open a long, right? I don't know. What the fuck? All right, chill. I'm not going to actually do that, but it kind of looks sick. Jeez. All right. Let me focus, though. XPL is a good asset, LOL. All right, let's fucking pump the brakes here, dude. Relax. Up 75% from the lows. Okay, but it's also down. It's like a funny, the way you frame that, because it's also down 92% from the highs. So it's all about framing, right? All right, let's play this one clip from Trump. We're actually not going to spend that much time on oil today, but again, stealing the thunder. It's sucking the liquidity out of the air. It's oil. I'm going to play this one clip.
American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated.
Okay, one of my problems with this speech is that I think, okay, I saw this clip of Rakai. Actually, let me play this clip real quick. Let me play this clip. Do you guys know who Rakai is? I'm actually not playing this to dunk on him, but I'm gonna throw some color on this. Sneeko tweeted it. Maybe he deleted it. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm gonna use it to throw some color on this.
Bitch, tell me why. Like, chill. Okay, so I'm streaming, right? Tell me why one day I'm just like, you know what? Let me go on the fucking news. Bitch, you know we in war? Bitch, do you know we in war? So I'm just chilling like, yo, one day, let me just go on the news real quick, bro. Bitch, we is in fucking war, my nigga. And y'all talking about, I got a rental. Bitch, it's way more important shit to worry about than my fucking car. And that's y'all problem right there.
Okay. Bitch, we at war. Okay, so you know what I've like realized over the last couple weeks here? What I've realized over the last couple weeks is that we are uniquely hyper terminally online and mentally ill. Like, the things that we are talking about every day, most people are just not talking about. And maybe I should know this because I do have contact with the outside world, but I don't think I realize how separate everybody else is. Because, okay, like, I'm going to give you a weird analogy. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like, I'm like 7 years old, growing up with a happy family and two beautiful, awesome parents. And my mom would always tell me, like, Michael, like, not everybody has it as good as you. And I would be like, yeah, whatever, mom. Like, yeah, of course. I like know that, I guess. But what does that actually mean? And how do you actually know that? And the answer is you don't. You don't actually know until you go move to the city and you go like grow up and you like get on Twitter and you talk to people and you have real interactions with real people and you hear other people's stories, other people's back. You know, like I don't know, you like grow up, like I grew up with two happily married parents. And when I'm 7 years old, I just like assume everybody else has two happily married parents. And then you go meet some people and you realize, no, that's actually not true. Okay. And I think this is how I think about what we cover every day to how everyone like thinks of war and like the stuff that we cover, which is like I internally know that not everybody is spending every second of every day stressing about this stuff, even though that we are. But the level at which they're separated from it, I think is more extreme than I've given credit to. And so basically what I'm saying is the vast majority of the population has no idea what's going on other than like war and maybe like Iran and like Israel and the US. That's it. And so when you do something like this, everyone on crypto Twitter has knew every word that was recited in this Trump speech. Like he just said nothing that none of us haven't. We've been rehashing it for a month, bro. These are the things we've been talking about for a month. What he just did on this speech, we've been talking about for a month, literally. I think every person here could give the speech. If I asked every person in this chat to give a speech about rehashing what has happened over the last month, I think you could do it. Okay. Normal people don't have a clue. And maybe they're happier because that's a different discussion. But so when you cut off the global broadcast, and for the first time, a lot of people, also the out of touch people, because you have to take in mind who's watching cable television. Well, it's probably older, less online, like average demographic. This is 40, doesn't pay that much attention, is online, whatever. When you cut off global broadcast to play a address of the nation or whatever you call it, from Trump, and they're listening, they have no context. And so the only thing that they heard from this speech is World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, Iraq, and a military operation. That's all they heard. Nothing else. You think that they're digesting, but the toll is open through Oman if they pay $2 million in stable coins to the IRGC to get their tankers through. No. They don't know about the Marine convoys, nothing. The only thing they heard is World War I and World War II and the Korean War. And basically, they didn't even probably hear that. The only thing they heard is draft and World War III. That's it. That's what they heard. They heard draft and World War III. And so I think that there is an overwhelmingly large amount of people that had no idea what was happening that now thinks what's happening is really, really, really bad. This is also probably why markets are so slow. My God. Jeez. To react to a lot of announcements, because there's this admittedly large amount of pool that's hyper online and hyper terminal and trading every second, right, with big size. But then there's also these like what percent of the stock market is just passive flows of people that didn't know we were at war until yesterday. And now I'm not saying they're Rakai viewers, but be honest, who here is a Rakai viewer? No shade, be honest. Who here is a Rakai viewer? I'm not saying they're Rakai viewers, but I am saying that most people are not paying attention to the shit that we're paying attention to. And so I listened to the speech. I actually almost wasn't going to. And I did listen to it. I sat down. I ran home from the gym. Not gonna lie, I used to be a Kai viewer. I low-key still am a Kai viewer if he streams. And I ran home from the gym. I threw it on and I listened to it. And I am not going to fearmonger, but it was kind of terrifying to listen to this speech because two things happened, I think. Number one was I have never heard Donald J. Trump ever do a speech that on topic, concise, and scripted ever. Like ever. Not a single joke, not a single self-glaze, not a single mention of Biden, or there was an Obama mention. Nothing about Biden, nothing about Kamala Harris, nothing about the election, nothing about COVID or illegal aliens, nothing about any of it. None of it. He didn't talk about any of it. None of it. It was very much, I have been told, Liberation Day, tariffs, China, none of it. Absolutely none of it. He's reading off a teleprompter. And I've just never heard him speak like that before at all. Okay? And then the second reason, like reading between the lines a little bit, is, I don't know, the fact that he did this like a nation address and just repeated headlines, like the same timeline, the same announcements, the same everything that we've been discussing on this stream for over a month. Now, it just felt eerie. It felt like, hey guys, this is pretty serious and everybody needs to know about it. It felt like, hey guys, this is pretty serious. And what adds to the stakes is that the market, the schizo market that makes no sense, over the last 2 days had seemingly been pricing in a walking back of we're about to be done in Iran. Because it felt like there was a coordinated effort towards this. Everybody in their own little silo was coming out with similar vibe shift quotes, basically saying like, yeah, we're about done here. And so the market started ripping. And I really like that Snorlax tweet, even though it hadn't really played out. And it was basically saying that the market's pricing in perfection. Any deviation from perfection is going to lead to an aggressive repricing the other way. And so it happened on oil, right? This is where Trump went live, I believe. Like, right, let me go longer time frame. Trump goes live here, right? Yeah, this is like last night. He goes live on this candle. I traded this candle, and oil popped, the worst asset in the world to trade, but this thing popped like 17% on not a single new word being said, right? If it pumps 17% and there wasn't a single new word said, that means there was a lot of money really banking on the Snorlax tweet, this thing being basically over, and it wasn't. And so that is why it is particularly bizarre that oil was able to pump 17% and some change on nothing. Basically in the news that this is really bad directly from Trump. He didn't even try a taco there. And SPY closed green. It closed green. There's always a humbling reminder that you're not smarter than the market, and it will fucking chew your ass up and spit you out if it has to. You're not smart. You're not better traded than the market. It's actually humbling to watch SPY close green today. I think it's humbling. I felt humbled. I felt like, damn, I don't know that much. I thought I did, or some moments I think I do, and it fucking slaps me in the face and wakes me the fuck up. And so now we're at where we're at is, I don't know. I don't really know where this leaves us. It leaves us. I honestly don't know. I'm out of takes on this. I think I'm out of takes. The one thing that is definitely true is that we basically get no more reactions from a multi-week taco. Like, this is ending in a week or 2 weeks is no longer suitable for the market to care at all. I think you do get a reaction on it's over tomorrow type of taco, but then you have to deliver. You have to deliver on that, and then it's so you can't buy any time on it. You have to deliver. If you do it, it's over tomorrow, taco. And so, do we actually think it ends in 2 to 3 weeks? I don't know anymore. He sort of set the stage to allow it to, right? They've planted the seeds on we don't care about Hormuz. Hormuz is everybody else's problem. Da, 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 da. But I think we've basically reached a point where there was delta. There was this original trade where there was delta in understanding that the market was positioned for a nothing burger and the situation in the Middle East has gotten out of hand. There was a big spread on that, and we like made money on that quite a few times. That was the initial oil trade. That spread is basically gone, and I think if in this moment you're doing anything other than like, you know, a 30-minute trade trying to flip-flop on headlines, you're just asking to get carried out. You're asking to get carried out. I'm pretty much done trading, or at least unless something structurally changes here and we get a major escalation or de-escalation. You got to be done, right? I mean, you got to just if you're green right now, you got to be done. You got to be done. I think unless there's a major change, a price action picks a direction, you got to be done. You got to fucking be done. You got to know when. You got to know when to sit at the table and play, and then you got to know when fucking Phil Ivey and Keating sit down. And right now, Keating is sat down. Now, I say all this. I did make money yesterday trading it. I know. I did make money trading yesterday. Because bro, I turned it on, and I'm like, I wasn't going to trade. I turned it on, and I'm listening, and I'm saying to myself, okay, we're 3 minutes into this. If he was going to announce boots on the ground or ceasefire, what already happened? Nothing. Oil's not moving. So I said, fuck it. I have a new strategy for this. And I was slamming really high size relative, high size, high leverage oil longs with like a 30-cent stop, like a 1% drawdown stop. And I just kept clicking. I don't know. It's kind of, is this a retarded strategy? I don't know. But I'm just like, bro, it's about to pop. It has to pop in a second. But I don't want to get wicked out. And so I got stopped out once, minus 1%, stopped out twice, minus 2 or 3%. And then I popped one for a 15% or a closed, went to bed, told everybody in the group chat, this is probably a good time to sell. And then at like 105 Brent, and I woke up, it was at 112. And I went back to bed pretty miserable. Not going to lie. Total retard max strat. But it worked. All of us that were in the pit made money. Yeah. That was a spot to trade, right? Like you have this direct news, even though nothing, you had a catalyst, but it feels to me that the catalysts are pretty grim from this point forward. And we'll do a little bit of like oil market commentary, but I think I'm good for the moment. On flip-flopping on oil. Like I just need some substance either direction. I need something. I need a trend, a direction, a discussion on some clarity on. Yeah, yesterday was insane, by the way, because we made money on the Farcoin short too. That was a crazy trade. I love trading. I love it so much. But I need some level of clarity until I can really do anything substantial in the market. Otherwise, I'm just fucking around with money, clicking buttons. And I just got a Telegram message. Aircraft carrier Ford prepares to rejoin operations in Iran. All right, let's go over these headlines pretty quick. This is the one that had that laundry room fire, which is I don't know. Take it for what it is. Let's look at Polymarket. We'll go through and we'll read some messages of some traders that are suffering right now. Six shirt, by the way. Thank you, brother. Where are we? Ceasefire. Not much has happened here. Just straight down, basically. Straight down. Polymarket, by the way, obviously there's a Polymarket sign in the background, has been enormously helpful in figuring out how severe and important headlines are, because the traders on here are not as emotional as like Hyperliquid. Just straight down, candle down, down, down on the ceasefire. Not great. And then boots on the ground. This market, what's good, Lattice? This market now has $100 million bet on it. By April 30, boots on the ground spiked up again since the speech. It's at 66%. It's just like it's a scary number. It's a scary number. By December, it's back up 74. And, you know, I don't like this for the same reason I don't like Michael Saylor going on an interview talking about 8K is the liquidation price for strategy. It's like, fuck, you give targets, and something about a target just gravitates the all being powerful seeing market towards it. Something about a target just doesn't feel right. I don't know if I'm just like superstitious and weird, but I don't know. It's like you wish Michael Saylor didn't go say 8K on the live stream, you know? It is what it is. But okay, what do we have here? So yeah, immediately after, Pete Hegseth tweets, "Back to the Stone Age." Which is just, I mean, please, for the sake of the country that I live in, keep this guy away from nuclear weapons, please. It's like, yeah, you think we're going to be out of war in 2 to 3 weeks? You're talking about sending them back to the Stone Age. I mean, this is just such a irresponsible tweet. I mean, this is a threat to punish an entire nation for the acts of an unelected regime. It violates the IHL doctrines of distinction, proportionally military necessity, and humanity. I mean, this isn't a community note, but this is like, what is this tweet? I mean, this is not what you want to see from the people that are in charge of the United States. I don't know. I mean, this guy has access to nukes. I don't think there's that much here. Let's see. The speech was framed as mission nearly complete, but listen carefully. The substance points the other way. It's not de-escalation. Yeah. So he claims victory while extending the war. We know this. Keeps escalation options open. Honor the. I mean, this is just AI slop. Why am I reading this? Honor the dead by completing the mission. Did he say that? Someone just texted me there's a huge buy order on Nance XPL perps. They front running something? Tell me if, by the way, while I'm covering war stuff, tell me if there's an announcement on XPL, please. So this came out as well. Macron from France, who is being screamed at to just stop being a pussy and take Hormuz by force, says it's unrealistic. And he says Trump is contradicting himself every day. This is a little bit of a shift. Vib, like, look on the move. There's a little bit of a shift as well, like other countries, even if it's France, and then even if he is retarded, saying like, hey, this is not going to work. All right, let's read this real quick. This is the Speaker of Iran's parliament. Listen up. Back when I was 18 years old, I grabbed my rifle and ran straight into the fight to defend the soil of my beloved, unbreakable Iran, the only home I ever knew. My brother Hassan, he laid it all on the line in that same fight for our homeland. He never came home. Damn. To this day, I still ache to wrap my arms around him more than one time. One more time. That kind of pain never leaves a man. And he wasn't the only one. I lost brothers who weren't blood, but were family just the same. Men who fought like lions and became part of me forever. But that's what we do. We give everything. Everything we've got for the land we love. We poured out our youth, our blood, and every tomorrow we had for Iran. We are not warmongers. But when the time comes to defend our homeland, every last one of us becomes a soldier. Right now, in less than a week, a powerful national campaign sweeping across the country has brought forward around 7 million Iranians who have already stepped up and declared they're ready to pick up arms and stand in defense of our nation. 7 million. Let me just tell you something straight from the gut. Iranians don't just talk about defending their country. We bleed for it. We've done it before, and we're ready to do it again. You come for our home, you're going to meet the whole family, locked, loaded, and standing tall. Bring it on. Man. How many U.S. soldiers are there? The U.S. has approximately 1.33 million active duty service members, including roughly 770,000 National Guard and Reserve personnel, and the total force exceeds 2 million. The Army is the largest branch with 450,000 active duty soldiers. Wow. Dude, 7 million is fucking crazy. It does feel low for a 400 million person country. Tweet doesn't exist, but the Stoic tweet's deleted. Tell me whatever it was. Tell me what it was. And then he posted this. I don't get this, by the way. What does this mean? Can someone explain this to me? We followed the money last week. A handful of bankers and hedge funds met. We decided to hold Washington's Iran war policy hostage, then launched a campaign. Name names. Yes, nah, Ackman here, invite lost. What does this mean? I don't know. I don't get it. But the guy's shitting on Bill Ackman. Like, what? What the fuck is that? Also, yeah, to your post of front running an announcement. This, I mean, it has to be, right? Look at the volume count on this. I know I'm moving back and forth. Look at the volume count on this. XPL hasn't done this much volume on the daily since, I guess, here, like October 14th. When it was fucking many X's higher. So that is what that is. Last update. It's kind of a good one, but Trump, after leaking to the Wall Street Journal, he was leaving Iran, ripping stocks up 4%. I'm not fucking leaving. Banger. Thicky banger. And so,
you know what?
As oil is candling, here is some commentary on the market. Play the vid right quick.
I'm not leaving. So,
classic. This is the fucking pit. My home. This is the pit when Drift gets hacked for $300 million and Eli's tells everybody to short fart this movie. Threadguy, Hegseth News. Hegseth News. Also, this guy's coming on stream, by the way. Not today, but I'm hype. XPL wicking. Let's see. Wow. I mean, there's got to be some insider on this, right? Has to be. Fuck, should I be long right now? This is just pure. Has to be, right? I mean, it has to be. It doesn't make sense any other way. Has to be. Why is there no XPO? I mean, there has to be insider. Please, if you get a headline, tell me. There's like no one even tweeting about it. Why is no one tweeting about it? Nice trade, kid. How much is it up right now? Wow. Look at this thing, bro. Terrible news, honestly. This is nuts. This is fucking nuts. This is terrifying. Possible blockchain acquired by Alatola Iran. Jesus. Can you imagine if that was true? Yeah, this is gnarly. Up 50% on the daily. It's disgusting. Wow. Is anyone in this? I don't know. I can't buy it now. If I was maybe paying attention earlier, I would have clicked, but I told everybody to short it yesterday, so. To be fair, I told you to short it with $1. But I did tell everybody to short it yesterday. You're in it? Gerlin, you are in it, bro. You talk about it every day. Yeah, this is just a crime. Take a minute and admire. How much volume is it done? How much OI is there? Wow. It's a 24, it's in 100 mil. It's an 86 mil in 24 hours. What about like what about Monad? 5 mil. What other alts have done well? Zcash, 45 mil. What about Bitcoin? It must look a pair. 3 bill. Farcoin, 38 mil. Wow, it's doing fucking pissing volume. What's good, Pilot? That's yeah, that's fucking something, huh? On stable. That fucking scam. What the fuck is this? It's incredible. Huge shout out XPL. I can't believe you binked that. You've been talking about it for a while. That's crazy. Anyways, some commentary on the market is outside of plasma, I guess, which is a hedge against geopolitical unrest. The smartest traders I know are basically all posting some derivative of this, which is that this is one of the most confusing dailies in Tradland I've ever seen in a bit. I'm going to be completely honest. I woke up early today because I thought I was going to wake up to a circuit breaker down on SPY. It didn't happen. It not only did not happen, but it closed green. I thought we were going to wake up to fucking just absolute carnage in the market, and it just did not happen. Tolks, who, by the way, I'll put you on game, I think is one of the best follows on Twitter right now. Noties type of follow. Had tweeted, I'm sure this is filled with recency bias, but I can't really remember such mental illness and schizophrenia in TradFi markets. I'm tired, boss. No way. What do you have? Tulip King. You met him IRL? How was he? What do you have, Tulip King? I really want to get him on stream. He's going to come on maybe next week. No, not this. This isn't important, I don't think. What does this even mean? Hard on? No, this can't be it. What does it even mean? Hard on by telling us supports tokenization on Plaza. What does it even mean? Build launch and scale Plaza using hard-ons? Compliant secure rails? I don't... It's just 8 hours old. Like, it can't be this. It can't be that. It's too old. It's too old. Does it have to mean something? Maybe not. We can come back to it. So Tokes tweets, I'm sure this is filled with recency bias, but I can't remember such mental illness and schizophrenia in TradFi markets. I am tired, boss. And yeah, I think a lot of people echo that. And this is one of the things that we've shared a bunch of times on stream, which for the people long, I'm curious who is actually actively long, Brent. Remember, by longing oil, you're longing an asset that almost every country on earth is incentivized to see trade lower. Followed by this guy up here is complaining about why his fucking Brent longs won't go up. This guy, Crude Oil 231, who I think is very sharp. Look, man, can I offer you some advice? I know you're a pro, so I was a bit worried you might take this the wrong way. But you need to realize what kind of play you're in and who you're up against. The folks on the other side of your trade stand to lose trillions of dollars if they get pushed out. They are literally fighting for their lives right now. Just let time do the work. Physics always win in the end. May Brent expired at 118. And if the situation stays locked in, June is going to expire even higher. Play the long game and keep your leverage comfortable. That's how I've been playing it since the moment I went core long at 65. Crazy. On the April contract. As time passes and the profits stack up, victory will come naturally. This is a crazy paragraph. You need to realize what kind of play you're in and who you're up against. The folks on the other side of your trade stand to lose trillions of dollars if they get pushed out. They are literally fighting for their lives right now. Crazy. Because you know what's crazy is like we're not moving size. Like we're not moving the markets. But somebody is. Somebody in these books is moving oil long. And the most powerful governments in the world are trying to move them short. And it is, it's happening. Like somebody is doing that. The only problem is that the people that are trying to move it short can print money, which puts you at a structural disadvantage because they can print money. You can't if you're moving it long. But it's pretty wild to think about. Like like countries literally can't function if oil gets too expensive. And so these people will go to, I mean, it seems as if they will go to any extent humanly possible to make sure it goes down. And they're not doing the best job of it right now. Because this is WTI right now. Look at this thing. Here's the daily. Look at the daily. Look at the daily. Look at the daily. Look at the fucking daily, bro. Look at the fucking daily on this. Ugh. Look at the daily on this. Look at the fucking daily on this. Look at the daily, bro. Look at the daily. Gnarly. Volume breakout too. Man, you had 75 entry. 84 was my entry, I know. My initial trade, 84 entry, and I think 103 exit, maybe in some change. I'll probably skip this Garrett bullish thing. We could probably skip these. And I'm ready to move on. I am ready to move on at the earliest timestamp we've ever done it on war stuff. But I guess it's the last thing. Hormuz closed until May, folks. If you believe this, and it seems not unreasonable, model out missing oil flows, and you should want to do a lot of trades. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And one of the things we definitely learned in crypto, and I guess TradFi is showing us as well, is that the market is not that good at second and third order effects. Jeez. The market is not that good at second order effects. But I'm done with oil for now. I'm officially announcing to you guys that I'm done. I'm done with it for now. I did my part. I bought the fucking barrel. I put the fucking barrel in the background. I did my part. I bought the barrel. I clicked the longs. I made my money. I'm done. I gotta be done. It's driving me. It's starting to drive me nuts watching this Brent chart. It is starting to drive me nuts. Fucking pretty. Damn, somebody's long 10% of circ on plasma on Binance. Is that true? Bro, what is happening here? No, I'm not long, but what is happening here? This is some like real like live crime is happening. I mean, this is obviously a front run of something. Bro, you're the number one oil. Okay, well, come on. I'll be back at some point. Don't worry. I'll be back. What is happening here? Is anyone tweeting about it? The day that 2025 scams all moved. What else is pumping crypto? What is happening here? Stable. Stable's such a scam, bro. Lighter is too. Kind of, but not like plasma. Is this just the bottom? No, it can't be the bottom. That would be too easy. That would be too easy, guys. If this was the bottom. It would be too easy. No one's even tweeting about it, bro. It would be too easy. What's the other one? Oh, Aster. It's down on the day. It's too easy, bro. I fear it is, guys. I fear that it would just be too easy. TG, don't you think we're headed for a market crash? Dude, I've kind of been bearish for a while, but what are you supposed to... I've convinced myself to be bearish for a while. I guess as I started longing oil, I structurally was bearish by default, but I can't trade it. Dude, what the fuck? And funding is flat. What is happening? TG, my dog, I need an easy 2x. Can you help me? Yeah, you just missed it, buddy. It's called XPL 30 minutes ago. If you were in the stream when we started, you would have binked it. This is insane. It's not even fucking like... Funding is not going crazy. Jenny Short. I love you crypto people. Is like, you crypto people, like I'm not. Crypto people are so funny because you see something going up in a straight green line on some like blatant criminal activity or odd whale activities or whatever it is. And then the first reaction you have is, should I short it? And it's like, bro, no, I don't think you should. Whoa, my God. Look at this. Oh, my God. Maybe you should. Holy fuck. You shouldn't short. You fucking retards didn't short it? You didn't short it? You fucking retard. You didn't short it? Holy fuck, man. How? 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 How did that just happen? Bro, and you think the market gods aren't real? You think the fucking market guys aren't real? Stop. You think the market gods aren't real, bro? Look at this. What just happened? Bro. Oh my God, bro. What are they doing? Viblet, you asked for a 2x. I gave it to you, bro. Short, stable at the top. What just happened, bro? Wait, I don't know what this means. No one's even tweeting about it. Dude, look at this. I'm so confused. Bitcoin's going down. No, it's not. Wow, no one even pays attention. Wow, bro. Oh my God. That was fucking insane. Oh my Lord. A massive 200K. Wait. A massive 210K XPL short position just opened at 0.1569. How much is he up? Look at this. He just opened at the Shmiko. Another 400K short open at 0.155. Another 300K short open at 1.46. Wow. Wait, what did we just read? How much is that guy up? Oh my God. On the exact minute. Wow. Damn. That is fucking insane. That's one of the craziest things I've seen in some time here. How fast it happened. No, what? Do you long the bottom again? G's. Gee's. Wow. Live on stream. Is that a Jenny clip? I think that was a Jenny clip, bro. Wait, let's look at this. I can try to find this MF. Yeah, is anyone here nasty at I clipped and tagged you. Was it bad? Funny because you see something going up in a straight green line on some like blatant criminal activity or odd whale activities or whatever it is, and then the first reaction you have is, should I short it? And it's like, bro, no, I don't think you should. Whoa, my God, look at this. Oh my God, maybe you should. Holy fuck. You shouldn't short. You fucking retards didn't short it? You didn't short it? Oh my God. Wow. Wow. That is unreal. Wow. Wow. That's the greatest clip we've ever done. Please, Clippers, get this right. Wait, rewatch that. Funny or odd whale activities or whatever it is, and then the first reaction you have is, should I short it? And it's like, bro, no, I don't think you should. Whoa, my God, look at this. Oh my God, maybe you should. Holy fuck. Wow. You shouldn't short. You fucking retards didn't short it? You didn't short it? Oh my God, dude. That is so ridiculous. I can't believe I just watched. Wow. Wow. I don't even know how to work this. I've never even used this. I've never even used this before. We'll just come back to this. This kid's up how much? 1.6 mil on shorts. It's crazy. Wow. Also here, I'll send this in the Twitch chat. Here, DNAP is in the Twitch chat. Wow, that fucking derailed me a little bit. This is insane. Let's do a quick Twitter scroll just to like see if anything else is happening. That is so wild. Trading is so electric, man. It's just like the best thing ever. I love trading. I love it. Okay, wait, what is this? Younger baby so hype back when blue check marks were cool. Business Insider. Hourly that use leaked code to his GitHub and Anthropic filtered some outsiders. I don't know what this is actually, but it looks cool. Oh, this is how they hacked the source. They opened the source code. It was this guy? Really? That's fucking sick. They wrote about it in Business Insider. I'm gonna move on, but one more search. Yeah, there's like no tweets. It's actually cinema. Are we like the last people paying attention? Is that the case? Are we just the last people paying attention? Is that good or bad? I don't really know. But we're the last people paying attention to markets. It's kind of electric. Speaking of markets, we didn't get to talk about this yesterday, but SpaceX has filed to IPO, filed confidentially for an IPO. Okay, this is a pretty big deal. This is a date that we should have circled when this happens, and is definitely going to change the way the market looks and where volume. I mean, it's going to be liquidity vamp suck for sure. Oh my God, I'm not going to let me look at it. They're the worst. Let's see. I want to see a date on the SpaceX IPO. News. CNN. SpaceX reportedly files for a massive IPO. I mean, this is a big deal. It was reported by Bloomberg. It is real. The filing will lead to a sale of shares by June or July. According to the published reports, confidential filings are used by companies to share information with SEC and investors before they have to disclose to the broader public. It's valued at $800 billion and XAI at $230 billion. So we're over $1 trillion, which would by far be the biggest IPO in history. And it's an absolute monster. Now, this clip is relevant before I give my take, which is that
my joke is that how many investors in America think they own a chunk of SpaceX when they're actually funding their ex-roommate's boyfriend's coke habit in Miami. And it's like,
Probably a fair amount.
it's like probably a non-zero amount. My joke.
there is this huge problem in venture right now where people are funding these fake SPVs to get exposure. Headline, is it a big one? Let me check. What do you got? First squawk. Army Chief of Staff, Randy George to retire effective immediately. Okay, we'll come back to it. There is this huge problem right now in venture where people are funding these fake SPVs and think that they have exposure to the market, but don't. Think they have exposure to the asset of the company, but they don't. And you probably don't realize that you don't. Does anyone here have exposure to SpaceX, by the way? Serious question. You probably don't realize you don't until you fucking IPO, and then you realize you don't, and it really hits you like a truck. Tokenomics, yeah, no idea. Now, one take on this is that crypto people know this all too well. I think that SpaceX IPOing is the most bearish announcement in development that could ever happen to Tesla, ever. Like, this is probably, I mean, this is the single worst case scenario for Tesla bulls. Okay. Now, crypto traders, NFT traders are uniquely positioned to understand exactly what this means. Okay. But every time ever in the history of cryptocurrency, when a dev, a team, a founder has launched a second token, both of them just end up going to zero. Okay. Now, if the team directly launches one, or when you're trading memes on chain and something gets vamped, every single time, one competes with the other and they both destroy each other. This never doesn't not happen. And again, the crypto analogies actually seep through. And it's particularly relevant here because I was looking at this and I'm like, all right, Tesla PE ratio. Tesla trades at about 350 PE. Which is hugely inflated, like hugely inflated. And how much of Tesla's valuation, obviously it's a real company, makes real money. It isn't like a vapor crypto alt. But how much of Tesla's valuation is that it's the only way to get a direct Elon exposure? You want to go long Elon, it's the only way to do it is to buy Tesla. And so you're down to pay some ridiculous premium over what its revenue is, because you want exposure to Elon. And he's dropping a second token. Basically is what's happening. He's dropping a second token. And dude, I think I'm not saying to short Tesla, and it's not going to be a trade that I make, but it's probably one in hindsight we're going to look back and think to ourselves, yeah, that was obvious. Because at the very least, PE has to just compress, right? Like, PE has to compress. It's not a trade that it's not like it's a scary stock to short, right? Tesla's a fucking monster. Let's see. Yeah. Chart actually looks fucking sick. Okay. Chart looks sick. Market cap is huge. 1.13 trillion. About the same size as SpaceX. But this to me is, I feel like something we've seen play out infinite times. How many times have you seen this play out in crypto? Every single time this happens, especially in the early NFT days. Every single time this fucking happens. Old token launches a new token. Both of them get destroyed. I mean, it happens every time. It happens every single time. I don't know why it would be any different with Elon. Wait, what is this? What people from the Solana Foundation talked about Zcash. I'm pulling the offer. LMAO Mert, the official Solana CEO. That's obviously what I said here. Damn, they're trying to fuck up my bag here. He replied to me earlier. He said, how much to buy counterparty? I said a lot. Trying to fuck up my bag here, man. Fuck. No, but seriously, every threadguy goes off on Solana and Zcash. Did that happen? Did I go off on Solana and Zcash, chat? I don't think I did. It happens every time though. Every time. Second token is GG. Every time. And so it's gonna be a fun one. Like, I actually am excited to monitor this and see what happens. See if Elon can beat the curse, but it just plays out the same way every time. All right, real quick, I'm gonna get up. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Dude, we've been streaming for a while without a fucking I got distracted without a break here. I'll be back in 30 seconds and let's focus. Wait, you gotta understand, like, Ken Carson really is a poet. You know, when he says every time she pull up, she'd be dropping off that neck, is the type of shit that 100 years ago, even 10 years ago, society just didn't know how to really break that down and understand that. So, shout out to Ken Carson, man. All right, there's this segment I've been wanting to watch for a while. A bunch of clips that we've been putting off. Shakespeare. By the way, one of my favorite Frank. Damn, I don't want to steal Frank D. God's take and say it for him. I'll save it, I guess. It's a good one though. Basically, Shakespeare was hella overrated, and the type of media and shit we put out now is just superior. Shakespeare is hella overrated. You can't, as an art kid, look at me in the eyes and tell me right now that you would rather read Shakespeare than scroll IG Reels. You can't. You cannot do it with a straight face. There's no... you can't do it. And people love to Okay, I'm just like stealing his take. His take is basically that modern media is so good, and there isn't a single person that can honestly tell you Shakespeare is better than Avengers Endgame. That's the take. I stole his take. That's the take. It's one of my favorite things he's ever said. Because yeah, it's facts. Avengers. I would rather watch Hollywood slop than read Shakespeare. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. It's one of the best takes. Read a play, little bro. Read this chart, little bro. How about that? All right, let's do like a quick intermission from some of the heavy hitting stuff. We're doing a lot of war. Warren Buffett did a podcast. By the way, I don't know a single damn thing about Warren Buffett, other than the fact that he's made a lot of money. I don't know a damn thing about Warren Buffett. But he did a pod, and I want to watch some of these clips. Let's watch some clips. First clip is that he thinks his dump has been nothing.
Well, let's talk about that. The market has come down substantially.
Not substantially.
Well, you've got both the Dow.
It's down 6%. I mean, is he really 98? No. 98? 95. I'm not sure how much. I don't really want to put this out into the atmosphere, so maybe I won't, but I will do it anyways. I'm not sure how much older than 95 I really want to live to be. He didn't make his money till he was 80 years old. That is brutal. Really? Stop. That is like the worst thing ever. Is that true? Why even make it? Wait, stop. Don't tell me that that's true. That's like such a sad story. What age did Warren Buffett get rich? Dude, he was born in 1930. Oh my God. Wow, 1930, bro. Damn. Wow, wow, wow. Wait, when was Pearl Harbor? Oh, bro, he was 11 during Pearl Harbor. Sheesh. He's actually seen everything. That is not 11 during Pearl Harbor is crazy. It's in black and white. Wait. When was Vietnam draft? 1965. Age for Vietnam draft. No, he skipped it. How old was Warren Buffett in 1965? He was 35. He skipped it. Damn, my mom just texted me. My grandma was born 1931. Rest in peace, my beautiful grandma. 1931. That is crazy. Wow, 1930, bro. What a time. Let's watch it real quick. We'll come back. Oh, wait. No, I want to figure this out. When did Warren Buffett get rich? He became a billionaire at 56. I mean, that's pretty good. That's not bad. No, this is not. This is a caller. If I made a B at 56, I'd be all right with that. I would be okay with that. Let's watch a couple of these clips though. Okay, so here's the thing. It's like I love to do the boomer thing, but this guy was alive for basically every war. Wait, when was World War I? Missed World War I. What about World War II? Wow, he was like 15 during World War II.
Well, let's talk about that. The market.
Damn, he's like fucking doing interviews at 95. It's crazy.
Has come down substantially.
Not substantially.
Well, you've got both the Dow and the Nasdaq in correction territory. It's the worst performance on a quarterly basis for stocks in about 4 years.
How are you going to refinance the debt, Michael? Where's the refinance going to come from, Michael? I hate this. This clip makes my skin crawl.
Do things look cheaper to you?
No. 3 times since I've taken over Berkshire, it's gone down more than 50%. I mean, if you look at the markets of...
Can I just say something? Warren Buffett, who I know nothing about, admittedly. Warren Buffett net worth. Warren Buffett. Oh my God. Chat, guess his net worth right now. Guess his net worth right now. Warren Buffett, who I know very little about, is 95 years old and has an estimated net worth of approximately $141 billion. At 95 years old, he was born in 1930, and he's doing interviews with Fox News talking about when he's ready to buy the market again. Bro, you have $140 billion. 140. Bro, the US stock market is worth $60 trillion. There's $60 trillion in the US stock market. Warren Buffett has $141 billion as a single guy. He's 95 years old, and he is sitting down doing interviews talking about when he's going to buy. Okay, it's not mainly Berkshire equity, by the way. It's 37.7% Berkshire equity. That right there is how bad you have to want this shit if you want to be in my vicinity. If you want to hang out in this chat, if you want to hang out in the pit, if you want to be around me and what we're trying to do, you got to think about it like this, because you could hand me right now $141 billion, and I hope to God I'm watching plasma on the 5-minute chart get manipulated because some guy slammed 10% of the circulating on Binance perps, and I know what that means. And I know Warren doesn't know what that means, but that's, that's where there's like a delta. That's where there's a spread. What's good, EB? That's where there's some level of separation, if you will. I mean, this is nuts. This is $141 fucking billion.
The worst probably was the 2007-8 period, although there was that one Monday when you had 21% in a day. I mean,
21% a day.
This is nothing. I mean,
Well, this is nothing to make you get excited and think there's huge valuation drops.
if they're 5 or 6% cheaper, that doesn't. We aren't in it to make 5 or 6%. I mean, but.
Dude, he's 95.
Not substantially.
Well, you've got both the
3 times since I've taken over Berkshire.
about what's happening in the Middle East right now.
What's happening?
What's happening in the Middle East?
Oh.
There's a lot of ways we could go with this, but why don't we start with just what it means for crude oil and energy in particular? Berkshire owns a utility company. What do these higher prices mean?
Well, it means the 2 oil positions we have, Chevron and Occidental, go up a lot, but that doesn't mean I can go around predicting what will happen next. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow over there.
Yeah. You, for a long time, were involved with the nuclear initiative. I think still are funding that. And I know your very first priority.
So he's just like, how much of Chevron do they own? Wow. 7%. Jeez. What a fucking gangster.
Philanthropy was the nuclear problem.
I think it's the problem I think it should. Well, I'll put it this way: when I went to school, grammar school,
I mean, when was he going to school? 1945.
they told me the sun was going to burn out in 4.5 billion years. I took that pretty philosophically. I mean, I could handle that. And now you've got 9 countries, including, the guy in North Korea. I mean, and there will be something happen. And we worried enormously about it when there were 2. And we had really pretty sane leaders in Kennedy and Khrushchev. I mean, you were not dealing with unstable people or anything like that.
Damn, so when I'm fucking like 90 talking about Trump first term and presidency, the kids are going to be like, you were alive for Trump? Huh. Like, wait, who was the president in 9? That is... Who was the president in, like... was president in 1945? Harry Truman. That is fucking... What, 1950? Harry Truman. What about 1954? Dwight D. Eisenhower. That is like, what?
And, the ships turned around, but people were hiding under their desk with 2. I mean, just think how you feel with North Korea having it and Iran wanting to get it. I mean, it is, and I don't have an answer for that. I mean, we did the right thing in 1938 even, or 1939. You can go look at, it's all over the internet, the most important letter ever written. And Leo Szilard could not get the message to, he was a famous nuclear physicist, a terrific one, very funny too. And he couldn't get the message to Roosevelt, but he knew if Einstein signed the letter that it would get there. And he finally got Einstein to sign the letter. And that letter was a month before the Germans started rolling into Poland. And I don't think Roosevelt understood U-235 any better than I do. I mean, but he knew if Einstein signed it, he better do something. And the funny thing is, of course, he was doing it because he's worried about the Germans getting it, and it was actually used on the Japanese. But we haven't learned to live with it. Now we've gone 80 years since then. We've had a lot of close calls. I mean, we've had training tapes put in there that almost got the president to do something. They've had them. I mean, there is no way that the planet has an expectancy of 500 years now when it was 4.5 billion when I was a kid. And we had to do it. I'm not faulting anybody. My dad was in Congress. He would have voted for it. I mean, everybody rejoiced on VJ Day. I mean, it.
Wow. Dude, he's like so much lore. Wait, this one is relevant too. Is it the same woman? This is the old.
When people start to think, well, this could be the beginning of something really bad. It could be even a World War III situation. It could be a return to the Cold War. Does any of that ever go through your mind?
Well, if you tell me all of that's going to happen, I will still be buying the stock. You're going to invest your money in something over time.
Wait, this is a different one too. He just interviews with this woman? That's it? This is like his interviewer? His personal, like... Wow.
First class, I don't jet.
One thing you could be quite sure of is if we went into some very major war, the value of money would go down. I mean, that's happened in virtually every war that I'm aware of. So the last thing you'd want to do is hold money during a war, and you might want to own a farm, you might want to own an apartment house, you might want to own securities. But I mean, during World War II, the stock market advanced, and the stock market is going to advance over time. American businesses are going to be worth more money. Now, dollars are going to be worth less, so that money won't buy you quite as much.
He sounds really sharp during this.
But you're going to be a lot better off owning productive assets over the next 50 years than you will be owning pieces of paper, or I might throw in bitcoins.
Oh, what? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, man?
Owning productive assets over the next 50 years than you will be owning pieces of paper, or I might throw in bitcoins.
What the fuck was that? That was so unnecessary. Why did he do that? That was unreal. What was the point of that? Also, who is this CNBC interviewer that interviews Buffett? Becky Quick. What a sick name. Becky Quick. Is she like a Chad? Trading career. Bro, this entire chat's retarded if you think SPY has a future. Sorry. Guy's name is Spy Puts. Tell me how that is working for you. Tell us about your little puts, my friend. Spy Puts in the chat. Tell us about those little puts. Is this a Bitcoiner chat? No. I wouldn't say it's a Bitcoiner stream. But I like Bitcoin. Yeah, I fucking love Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I do love Bitcoin. Name physiognomy is off though. Tell us about those SPY puts. Becky Quick is a prominent financial journalist and co-anchor of CNBC's Squawk Box. It's not working well, yeah. Known for interviewing top investors like Warren Buffett rather than being a professional trader herself. With a background in the Wall Street Journal, she's built a career in broadcast journalism focused on business news, financial markets. How much does she make? Whoa. Really? That's pretty fucking good. $3 million a year? God damn. Damn, she's quote tweeting feared Buck. Oh my god, that's good. That's really good. Is there any more Buffett clips I want to watch? I guess this last one. This last one we'll watch.
Believe me, if after we get finished talking, you say, I've got a great $100 billion in your idea, I would say, let's talk.
I don't.
Well, but that there's always the chance that tomorrow somebody will say that to me, or I've got something that.
Because now you have, I don't know what the latest cash amount is. It's over 300 and...
It's over 300 billion.
Well over 300 billion.
Yeah, it's well over 300.
It's more cash than the value of all of the stocks in the FTSE 100.
Yeah, and it means that when I look at the stock market, when I look at companies of a size that would make any difference to our total, I don't see anything of, well, we're buying one or two things, but it's peanuts. But I'm willing to spend $100 billion this afternoon. Yeah.
Glad I'm here today.
No, I'd rather have $100 billion in a really good business bought at a sensible price than have $100 billion in cash. I know the cash, I mean, it's certain levels necessary, but cash is not a good asset.
Yeah.
You need oxygen. You don't need to be surrounded out. You don't have to pay a lot for it or anything like that. But you do need oxygen. and if you ever without it for 4 or 5 minutes, you will learn. And cash is that way. So you always need to have it available because you do not.
You see how there's always Coca-Cola? Oh, Coca-Cola. Jesus. Around Buffett. Berkshire owns almost 10%. Geez, sorry, that was you're supposed to be a space between it. How much of Coke does Berkshire own? Geez, they own 10%. Actually, let's just do Berkshire Hathaway Holdings. Wow. Oh my God. They have $62 billion in Apple. That is unreal. 56 billion in American Express, 28 billion in Bank of America, 28 billion in Coke, 20 billion in Chevron. Wow. Oh my God, look how much they're up on this. Dude, he has $62 billion in Apple, and they're up 550% on it. Look at the Wikipedia. Is it better? Snap back. She on design of things. Oh, he owns 100% of a lot of companies. I don't know what any of these companies are. He owns 100% of Acme Brick Company. He owns 100% of Allegheny Corporation. He owns 100% of Altalink. I don't know any of these. Benjamin and Moore. Hella Berkshire. Brooks Sports. I know Brooks Sports. But he owns Business Wire. What else? He owns Dairy Queen, 100%. Duracell, 100%. Faraday, is that the milk? Is Faraday the milk company? Dude, he owns Duracell. I have Duracell right here. This? The fuck? I got batteries right now. Bitch, it's Duracell. It's a sick name. Faraday. Is it Faraday milk? No, it's Fairlife. It's Fairlife. Why do you limit this much battery? It's a good question. What else? Flight safety force. Fruit of the Loom? I have underwear on Fruit of the Loom? No, my socks are, though. Dude, I got fucking Fruit of the Loom socks on. I'm like Buffett. I'm Buffett dripped out right now. Fruit of the Loom socks. He owns 100% of Geico. Wow. Jordan's Furniture. Bro's Buffett's #1 contributor. Look up JIS Geico lore. We'll come back to it. What else? Marmon Group. This is nuts. NetJets. Nebraska Furniture Mart. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it to get him on stream? Bro. You think this brother has a Discord? Come on. NV Energy. Pacific Corp. Russell Brands. Russell Brands is a funny name. What else? This public company. He owns 2% of Apple. Oh my God. 7% of Bank of America. 8% of Chevron. 10% of Coke. 10% of Domino's. 30% of Kraft, like mac and cheese. 1% of MasterCard. 3% of New York Times. Dude, he owns everything. Sirius XM? Mom, you still pay for Sirius XM? 40% of Sirius XM. United Health Group. Wow, this is nasty, bro. Jeez. That's like what my Solana meme coin portfolio looked at one time. I felt like I had everything. Look up JIS Geico. Nothing came up when you said that. Actually, nothing came up. Oh, Buffett Geico. In the mid-1930s, at the height of the Great Depression, there weren't many people with the foresight and courage to start up a new company. Yet the husband and wife of Team Leo and Lillian Goodwin were up to the challenge, confident they could create a successful auto insurance business. Was there even cars in 1930? Wow. I mean, like, I knew there was cars, but like, I don't know. When did the first car come out? I mean, I wasn't that far off. Like, I knew there was cars, but like, I'm like, what are they insuring, you know? In 1936, he put that plan into action. They created Geico. In 1948, a pivotal figure joined the company. Lorimer Davidson, investment banker and a friend of the Goodwins, helped them find new investors. Among those new investors was Benjamin Graham, a business professor at Columbia University in New York, who would one day find Warren Buffett in his class. The link between Geico and Buffett was thereby established. In 1951, Buffett made his first official appearance in Geico's history. Interested in the company, he took the train to Washington on a Saturday to learn more about Geico and found the office was closed. Fortunately, a janitor directed him to Davidson, and the two had an impromptu meeting that would ultimately have a greater impact on the company than either man could have realized at the time. After speaking with Davidson, Buffett learned enough to make his first purchase of Geico's stock. When Leo Goodwin chose to retire in 1958, he named Davidson to be his successor. It was Davidson who would preside at the opening of the new Geico headquarters in Chevy Chase, Maryland. I know Maryland. In 1959, after more than 20 years of steady growth. The 60s were successful. They broke the 1 million policyholder mark in 64. Insurance premiums would reach 150 million in 65. Net earnings doubled to 13 million in 66. In the 70s were not good. At the beginning, Leo and Lillian passed away. Damn, he's playing the long game here. And the loss of the company's founders seemed to usher in difficult times for Geico. By the mid-70s, the years of aggressive expansion were starting to show some weakness in the company's loss reserves. It led to a difficult period for the company. Warren Buffett made a second appearance in 76 for a second purchase of Geico stock, reported to total 1 million shares. He's how old? He's 46. God, this is kind of long. Wait, let's see this. In 1993, Olza Tony Nicely was named Geico's new chairman. Buffett liked what he saw. In 95, Berkshire Investment made a generous bid for the remaining shares of Geico's outstanding stock. And by 1996, Geico is a subsidiary of one of the most profitable organizations in the country. It did national advertising on an enormous scale. This isn't that good of a story, dude. Ugh, story kind of sucks. How much is what I really want to know. Did Buffett make on Geico? Oh, 20 billion is what he made. $20 million is how much he made on Geico. Wow. Also, god damn, what the fuck happened today? Bro goes, that's Buffett's whole career. It's a long game, just boring trades over and over again. Brother, he made $20 billion. I'll fucking play the long game for 20 Bs. I'll play the long game for 20. XPL had to remember who it was is crazy. Can you retire on 20B? We can come back to this one. Okay, I have another segment I like. What y'all know about Paul Tudor Jones, bro? What did y'all know about Paul Tudor Jones? I'm really like a history student right now in this game, by the way. I need y'all to really understand that I'm a student right now. First of all, I want to read you this excerpt. I haven't read it yet. I saved it for stream. This is how I'm trading right now. This is my trading style. It's actually really helped me thinking about trading like this. Is I enter a position when I want to enter. I nibble. Okay, I nibble. I take a little bite out of it. I nibble. And then when it goes my way, I just fucking add. I add. And I've been gassing trades. It's how I hit oil well. It's actually how I hit pump the first time, but I didn't really realize I was doing it. I just liked it so much, I kept buying it. It's what I should have done on Zcash, and it's what I did on Tau, and it played out really well. And so I have this excerpt that popped on my feed today. It seems relevant. George Soros. If the stock goes up, you buy more. You don't care how big the position gets as part of your portfolio. If you get it right, then build. He says, let's go open a new, open image, a new tab. There we go. Look, Alan, you told me this company's doing a brilliant job of turning around. This is what they're going to earn on a cash flow and earnings per share basis. You think the stock is going to get re-rated upwards? International investors are going to catch on to it. American investors are going to catch on to it. And you say the stock is going to go up. To Soros, this was another one of those tailor-made situations in which he could apply his theory of reflexivity. He sensed that the price of the stock would rise, that investor frenzy would soon take hold, propelling it upward even more. Raphael found nothing in Soros' words with which to quarrel. Yeah, he agreed. The stock is definitely going to go up. Buy more. Raphael said yeah, but wondered whether Soros really knew what he was doing. If the stock goes up, Soros went on, you buy more. You don't care how big the position gets as part of your portfolio. If you get it right, then build. Soros smiled and then said, to indicate that he wasn't interested in debating the point, next. Soros had confidence that Jaguar and British Telecom were sure bets. He understood that much more was at play than the balance sheets of these companies. What was really at play was the single crucial fact that Margaret Thatcher was going to make sure that British privatization would be underpriced. If the stock goes up, you buy more. And this popped on my feed as well. Paul Tudor Jones, bro. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking pictures, bro. Losers average losers. So good. Here's another one actually on this. I just thought of this. Bro, stop. I gotta ban you. I'm sorry. This shit's pissing me off. This capsule thing. I don't know what you're talking about. It's annoying. I'm tired of looking at it. And so you might be serious, but fuck. I tried to ban him. I can't see the name. Oh, okay. Thanks. Rip, bro. GCR prize fighters. Here it is. Wait, is that the full tweet? Yeah. Try to think of your Ponzi's like prize fighters rather than coins. Winners win and losers lose. Men will literally cut their winners and add to the losers rather than go to therapy. Losers average losers. Losers average losers. Losers average losers. Losers average losers. Losers fucking average losers. Obsessed with it. So this thing came on my desk today. Came across my desk, and it reads, in honor of 50 years of Apple, we're sharing for the first time Don Valentine's original 1977 memo for Sequoia's investment into Apple Computer, bro. November 3rd, 1977. They invested $600K at 500 mil. Is that correct? 600K at 500 mil, I think is what this reads. No, is that not right? Am I way off? I don't even know how to read this. I was looking at this, but it should be, 6 mil. I don't know. It says like 500M here. I think 500 mil is like the TAM. It says like 500M here. It's crazy. 150,000 shares of common stock. I guess it doesn't say. This is just a fucking compliant offering. Statement of income. Statement about this is current. 10% for 600K is what it actually is. Who started Sequoia Capital? That's so insane. Donald D. Valentine. Legendary founder of Sequoia Capital. A pioneer in Silicon Valley venture capital with a net worth estimated to be in the hundreds of millions. I mean, 9 figs is sick, but we just got done with 141 Bs. We just got done with 141 Bs. Anyways, though, this popped up too. I don't know how we got here to this, but how Paul Tudor Jones made 100 mil from the 1987 flash crash. And because we just watched this and we liked this, we just saw this picture and I loved it. I want to watch it. It's 8 minutes, really short at 1.25. Let's watch it.
Average being taken out
I
by
don't even know about
investors.
the 1987 flash crash, by the way.
Average being taken out by investors to gain exposure to stocks. Also, he realized that the chart of stock prices over the 80s closely resembled the chart of stock prices from right before the Great Depression. The similarity was shocking at the time. He, as well as 2 other hedge fund managers, George Soros and Stanley Druckenmiller, used this as a sign that a crash would soon come. Paul Tudor Jones knew that the irrationality of all types of markets can lead to huge swings in prices, especially down. Stock and futures markets at the time did not have as advanced circuit breakers as they do today. Jones felt that this created a situation where it was just a disaster waiting to happen, especially when combined with something called portfolio insurance.
The crash of '87 was really interesting.
Is that him?
The crash of '87 probably never would have happened except for, again, the market infrastructure at that point in time. I remember, because I started out in '76 trading commodities, and so for 120 years, all commodity futures had limits. And I remember so many times in the late '70s, early '80s, where the cotton market would be limit up or the soybean market would be limit up because that was the allowable amount that prices could move. And they would not let them go anymore because they knew the irrationality of human nature and the possibility of what a mob can do to anything. So they had limits. Now,
PJT also marked the Schmeiko bottom in April last year and the Schmeiko top in September.
Now,
Really?
financial futures come along. Here's a funny story. Do you know I tried to work for Goldman in 1984 when y'all were first thinking about futures, and they went, that's not futures. No, we're not.
Listen, I couldn't get a job.
We're not going to do that because we're Goldman. We're not going to be in that.
I didn't get a job at Goldman. I only got a job at J. Aaron.
Okay.
And J. Aaron was bought by Goldman.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
What
So anyway,
what is it with these Goldman guys?
They had
Stuck up.
incredibly inflated themselves. But anyway, so '87, there were no limits. There were no limits on any financial futures. It was just an absolute accident waiting to happen. And then they started portfolio insurance. And in '87, you could just look on any kind of historical metric and see the stock market was stupidly overvalued. 10-year rates were 10.5%. And I think the dividend yield on the stock market was about 4.5 or 5. So just think about that compared to today, right? 500 basis point, we'd have 10-year rates right now at something like 7.25, 7.5.
The forward price of the stock would have been 11.
Yeah, exactly. But they weren't then. And so when the market finally broke, I mean, the one thing that I would say I've learned the past 40 years is these, price patterns and price stories. It's the same old story so often, just with different characters, different times, different plots. And so that looked a lot like 1929 to me. And I knew for a fact that if and when it broke, because of the derivative structure, that the downside was going to be unlimited, literally unlimited, because there were no limits on futures. And I would kind of liken it to this
Me
past
too, bro.
February's market break. We had that kind of, what was that? Was it a 7 or 8% in 1 week? And you had all the VIX ETNs, you had all the short VIX structures. Those were just, that was just a bomb ready to explode. That was just a matter of time. And that entire break in the first week of February was all derivative inspired. And if I think of some of the greatest financial crises of the last 30 years, they, generally speaking, are derivative inspired because that's where all the leverage is.
Leverage, right.
In the years leading up to 1987, economic conditions deteriorated slightly. Tax advantages of corporate buyouts, including the ability to deduct interest expenses associated with leveraged buyouts, were eliminated. Also, global interest rates were rising, and there were concerns of the return of inflation in the US. But perhaps the most important factor in setting the stage for the 1987 market crash was the advent of programmatic trading. In the 1980s, a huge amount of computerized trading programs were created to automatically take advantage of market
The
opportunities.
fucking algos.
Two particular automated strategies have been referenced in relation to the crash.
I feel like I don't know enough about how this works, by the way. Automated trading, algos and shit. I don't know enough about this.
The first was a type of more sophisticated stop-loss strategy called portfolio insurance. In this strategy, systems would protect the downside of a portfolio by selling when certain market conditions were met, especially when there were large market declines. This contributed to a positive feedback loop, whereby selling could induce further selling, spiraling out of control. The second strategy was index arbitrage. This strategy took advantage of any mispricings between the price of derivatives on indexes and the values of the constituent stock prices. These systems automatically bought or sold the index or the constituents whenever sufficiently large mispricings occurred.
We do need to learn more
This
about
strategy
bonds.
contributed to extreme trading volumes whenever volatility picked up, and also perpetrated selling in futures markets into the stock markets. During the week of October 12th, the market started to sell off on news that tax advantages to mergers were going to be wiped out, and news that the US's trade deficit had increased. This selling triggered the automatic stop-loss-like strategies, which accelerated selling throughout the second half of the week. Much of the selling was happening in the futures markets, and as a result, index arbitrage programs subsequently bought futures and sold stocks. This led to a steep decline in stocks on Friday. In total, the S&P was down 9% that week. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Over the weekend, an immense amount of selling sentiment built up, especially among the programmatic traders. When the markets opened the following Monday, there was so much selling pressure and so little buying pressure that many market makers refused to make markets in their stocks. This led to jumps downward in prices. At some point during the day, there was speculation that the SEC would jump in to temporarily halt trading. This news just made traders more anxious to dump their positions before the halt. All the while, the automated trading systems were still selling everything. There was so much selling activity that the New York Stock Exchange, and especially the Nasdaq, were overwhelmed. Sometimes trades wouldn't be confirmed for more than an hour after they were placed.
An hour?
Another factor that contributed to the cycle of selling was margin calls. Many futures traders were unable to meet margin requirements on their highly leveraged positions when the market crashed, and were thus liquidated. This contributed to even more selling. On Black Monday, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange saw record margin calls, about 10 times the average size. It got so bad that it was speculated that the exchange would lose solvency. The carnage in the futures markets spilled into the rest of the markets through index arbitrage trading systems. Paul Tudor Jones ingeniously had sold all of his stocks by this time and was even short the market when the crash happened. As a result of the crash, he was able to triple his fund's money. This led to a more than 100% gain for his clients, even after his high management fees. His hedge fund peer Stanley Druckenmiller, whom Paul Tudor Jones had warned about the market crashing beforehand, was able to aggressively sell his stocks when the crash first started happening, and thus avoided some of the most extreme losses. But the fact that Paul Tudor Jones was able to completely avoid and actually profit massively, to the tune of $100 million, propelled him into the stardom as one of Wall Street's greatest investment managers. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, and subscribe for future content. Also, leave a comment saying what you think about Paul Tudor Jones' reasoning for predicting the market crash. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
That's insane. A fucking hour is nuts. Paul Tudor Jones calls April bottom. It's late 2025. Paul Tudor Jones' ingredients are in place for massive value before a blow off top in the bull market. October 6th, damn. Does he like tweet? Is he on Twitter? I don't really like Paul Tudor Jones. PTJ. Who does he follow? Vander Holyfield. Zero mutuals. Damn, GG. Becky, he follow Becky Quick. Wow. 59 people. Becky Quick is one of them. That's so goated. Oh, he doesn't tweet at all. Does he tweet into April lows? No. Paul Tudor Jones boxing. You're lying. No, there's not. There's no clip of him boxing. It's in the doc. Wait, where? I don't want to dox the doc. Where is it? Paul Tudor Jones boxing. He was a welterweight champ. Are you lying? Oh, it's in the video from the fucking.
By the late 20th century, a new breed of money.
I don't want to watch the whole thing though. No way.
Who also ran the family's publishing business. Jones went to the University of Virginia, where
Virginia? I'm from Virginia.
he was a welterweight boxing champion. He was a tough guy, often beating the hell out of his opponent. I think that competitiveness.
That wasn't a knockout.
Very much defined his character. Even though his family was rich.
Wow. Even though his family was rich. Paul Tudor Jones net worth 8.1 billion. Damn, how's this Quay guy only worth $1 billion? How's that possible? Also, this is pretty sick. This guy tweeted, crossed 6-figure profit mark yesterday. Around 10K a day around a plus 10K a day on the Trump speech. Going to let these current positions ride for a while I scan for better opportunity. Shout out to P4, this Marco fella, and threadguy, and others for their informative takes throughout the war. 100 bandos on poly market, betting no on ceasefire nonstop. Hell yeah, that's fucking lit. Shout out my informative takes on war. I'm down. I'm so down for that. By the way, that's fucking lit. I'm not gonna lie, that's lit. That's fucking lit. I wish I was up 100 bands on this fucking war. Pit World Order, fellas. It's very simple. I don't know how else to articulate it. Not that I even need to. It's very simple, fellas. Is every generation that comes through the world, they change society in a different way. And within every generation, there's a very small, curated, elite group, generally of men, that just fucking get it. That really get it. That really get it. And really alter and evolve the foundation they were left. Okay. And it is really easy to look forward at the fucking pit and the style and what we're doing, the monitoring the situation crowd, and be like, yeah, that's gonna be it. That might just be it. I want to be with those guys. I want to be with those guys. I want to do what those guys are doing. And if those guys do what they're doing for a long enough time frame, seems pretty fucking obvious that those guys are gonna end up all right. Okay. Seemed pretty direct how those guys would make it, I believe. Okay, what is this? You got a Discord here, just the Telegram? Whoa, Traitor. Film before the 1987 crash. It's a documentary of Paul Tudor Jones. Whoa. I thought the last time I first came in, his community was gonna go great as hell, yeah. You're gonna be the next George Soros, shorting the British pound. Dude, I feel like our peak at some point, I'm pretty convinced in this, by the way. Our peak at some point is gonna be one of these massive break the world type of trades. And you can't really predict it, but it's gonna be like a GME kind of thing, I think. I really do think that's how this thing ends. And then we all just are probably done after that. I wouldn't mind being done after a thing like that. You know? You find an inefficiency and we just like study it for months. It's like the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, except we study it for months and we just fucking... This thing ends with everyone wanting to own dollars again. And then we're just done after that. I just never stream again. We just walk away with 100. I never stream again. And then one day everyone that cooked in the chat is like in Europe together. And it's the last scene from Batman where Bruce Wayne and his boy make eye contact from across the fucking Alfred from across the patio. And they just, oh my God, imagine. And then we just like rip Monaco Summer, just like rip fucking 11, rip Dawn every night until we're fucking so miserable. We can't drink another shot of tequila. And I don't know what to do with myself. And I haven't found my wife yet. And so I moved back to New York City and I turn on the Twitch stream. And we just do the whole thing all over again. It's probably what happens. Or a return. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's back. Fire up the pit. I haven't typed in the pit in 5 years. Combined net worth in the pit is like trillions. I fire a message and all the replies are just like aura, 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 billionaire, 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 billionaire. But really it's just fucking like Caleb Viblet and Hidden Character and Wavy. But it's like the same as like Paul Tudor Jones and fucking Jesse Livermore and fucking whatever, Buffett, Becky Quick's in there. And you're just like, aura, 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 aura. Becky Quick is like Warren's age trying to interview like Viblet. Are you gonna make a Discord or just the Telegram? I've been thinking about this because I feel like some of y'all been getting like kind of smart. I feel like I was pretty uninterested in most of the chat's takes 6 months ago. I'm starting to become pretty interested in them these days. And it kind of hurts that it's a one-way Telegram channel. The problem is I always worry like they want me to make a Twitter com. But the problem with the Twitter com is like if it's dead, then it sucks. It's like kind of an aura gamble, you know? I really gamble aura by doing a Telegram or doing a com/Discord. Because if it's dead, then it's just like, damn, that was a waste of time. But I don't have, I need like, I wish there was like a side channel in Telegram where you guys could talk and people could like hang out. Like, let's be, bro, be so for real. You don't want to log on to Discord. Is there a way to do that? Can I make a Telegram channel within the pit that people can talk? Is threadguy the biggest trader streamer? I think I'm the biggest streamer that actually trades. Whoa. What? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do that. Hey, Peter Schiff's coming on Monday, by the way. I'm pretty hyped. You got a big bright future, bro. Keep going. Why do you say that? Where'd you come from, by the way? Came from Twitter or what? Peter Schiff on Monday. I've been fighting my demons. Yeah, I've been fighting I fight you on my X feed. Sick. Yeah, Peter Schiff on Monday. And dude, I said this yesterday, but when Peter Schiff came on, his Frank's D-Nap, thanks if I've gifted. His Frank made this thing Pace Trade where you could put in like any podcast or whatever, and it could like track how well the trade idea proposed on said podcast, what it performed. And the Peter Schiff, we've had a lot of guests on the stream. Peter Schiff was the best one, P&L wise. Short Bitcoin at like 1010, basically 110K and some change, and long gold at like 2,500 or something. It's disgusting. Stream tomorrow, bro. You think I'm a fucking part-timer? Think I'm a fucking part-timer, dude? Of course, stream tomorrow. It's been a long couple weeks though. I'm pretty excited to get back to so I ironically had CZ at 1010, I know. I'm gonna do an NIL segment soon, I think. So I don't even want to send him there, bro. Hello, market closed, we open. I want to do an NIL segment pretty soon. I think it's gonna be a really fun one. Talk about how NIL ruined college sports, but they obviously deserve it. Obviously deserve it. Ruin college sports though. Oh! By the way, also Seth, just post it, bro. We'll pin it. Post it. Let him post the link. My new obsession right now, my like deepest obsession, my new human obsession is Dan Hurley. I am absolutely obsessed with Dan Hurley right now. Obsessed. You're not a mod? Dash mod, accelerate. You should be now. I'm fucking obsessed with Dan Hurley. And so I made a mandatory meeting for everybody at the company on Saturday at 6:50 p.m. UConn plays Illinois, and everybody at the company must watch the game. Everybody at the company must watch the game. UConn, there's this culture. I'll talk about this real quick. There's this. I've been around the game about. I spent a lot of time as a kid around the game of basketball, and I got really like familiarized, I guess, with the culture of college basketball coaches. And the culture of college basketball coaches is unlike any other sporting athletic event anywhere in the world, specifically college and specifically basketball. And I don't exactly know why it is this way. I think it's partly because of the recruiting cycle. You're on 80 flights a year, season, 2 practices a day, travel everywhere for games, and then the second the season's over, you're at live, AAU live periods, recruiting, scouting, signing kids, whatever. Also, it's like your entire life is your job, your multi-million-dollar contract is dependent on a bunch of like 19-year-old kids locking in. But the college basketball culture specifically is the most cutthroat PvP, dog versus dog by any means necessary. I want to chop your head off culture that I've ever been around, ever. And Dan fucking Hurley is a freak, bro. A complete and utter bona fide lunatic. And the way Dan Hurley is how you got to think about trading, I think. He's a fucking lunatic, bro. A genuine lunatic. And I'm going to sign off on this. I'm just going to tell you that the one thing they will not take from me in culture is American sports. You will never be able to convince me that sports are gay. Everybody does the tech this and AI this and new culture this. They want to call you cattle and say if you watch sports it's gay. I don't care what anyone fucking says. They will never. Sports are awesome. And if you've convinced yourself that liking sports is gay, you are gay and you have to work on it, dude. Not that being gay is bad, but figuratively. Okay. Let's see. Dan Hurley, like Let me go on TikTok. Let me go on TikTok. Dan Hurley, like aura. What should I search? Okay, watch this. Watch this. This is the best video I have for you, actually. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch these sports is a waste of time. Yeah, fuck you. How about that? All right, watch this. UConn hits to go to the Final Four. Hits a game winner. Okay, there's 1 second left on the clock. They're up by 1. A technical foul from the coach means the other team gets 2 free throws and they would lose the game. This is Dan Hurley's reaction to the game winner. Watch, watch. Bro, to the ref. He's a fucking sicko, bro. You get a tech, you're done. You lose. You're out. Your season's over. You get a tech right there, your season is fucking over, bro. It's over. It's like the biggest aura gamble in the history. You get a tech here, your season's over. What are we talking about? Come on, bro. Gambled his entire life for the TikTok edit. What are we talking about? You're like, oh, sports are gay? Hold on. Watch this. Dude. Where's this guy? Sports are gay. What? You watch this and tell me sports are gay.
UConn switches 270, Duke 10 seconds.
To go to the Final Four. Elite Eight against #1 Duke. America's team. Everybody hates Duke. Anybody but Duke. Down 20 points in the first half. Claw all the way back. Your entire season on the line. You're down 2. Duke goes to the free throw line, makes 2 free throws. It's over. You have a 0.1% chance of winning, okay? If you win this game, you're a fringe draft pick. You get a chance to play another game. You go to the Final Four, you ball out, you get drafted, your life changes. These kids are playing. You have to understand these kids are playing for their life, bro. There's kids in this game. There's someone on the court for UConn that is going to go ball out in the Final Four because they win this game. That's going to be the difference of whether or not they were going to make millions of dollars.